So we are empowerment through integration. Our mission is to empower blind youth through equipping them with life skills so they become authors of the future. When I was 7 years old, one day I woke up and I had completely lost my vision. I remember running to my mom and telling her what had happened, and she hugged me really tightly, and she told me that everything will be fine. And everything was fine, and that was because I had the right support system, starting from my mom all the way to the policies that were supporting me in my town. However, this is not the common story across the world. There are close to 300 million visually impaired individuals in this world. Only 90% of them live in developing countries, and only 2% of them go to school. This is also, so one of the countries that has this example is Lebanon. And I started realizing that, through my annual visits to Lebanon when I was young, I realized that life would have been completely different for me if I was brought up in Lebanon. There are close to 66,000 blind individuals in Lebanon, and only 300 of them go to school. And only 22 of them go to mainstream schools. So if you want to go further, that's 1 out of 200 blind children are actually educated. So this story is pretty, this is a very common story. Let me give you an example of one kid, Omar. Omar is a 12-year-old kid. He cannot talk. He has never gone to school. He's still in diapers. He has never seen his mother. And this is because he's blind. So because you're blind and you live in a society like in Lebanon, you're not able to become an author of your future. And this is what ATI is trying to do.
So how is empowerment through integration going to implement its model? We have a theory of change which involves 5 steps. The first step is that we are going to identify the challenge that the youth faces. In the case of Omar, who you've just heard about, he will be learning how to walk independently. He will be learning how to interact with other children. And he will be learning how to gain some confidence so that he can go about dreaming of a future that exists beyond the walls of his home. Once we identify the challenges that a youth faces, we will be learning the skills that will be necessary to overcome those challenges. Omar, again, would be a great example for this program. We would teach him how to use a cane so that he can walk independently. We will have him interact with other students in a safe environment. And he will then, through all these programs, be able to be more confident in himself and with himself as he goes about in different scenarios. Then, as he applies these skills in the safe environment we provide him, he will go on to number 4, to transition to the next stage of his life, where he will be approaching different obstacles in a more confident manner. And finally, we, Empowerment Through Integration, will ask him and others that go through our programs for feedback so that we can better strengthen our program. So more specifically, how does this work? We have a couple programs. The first one is Camp Rafiki. This is a 2-week summer program. And let me break this down once again using Omar. So Omar, let's say, has lack of confidence. He doesn't have life skills, and he may not be motivated. Those are the challenges that he's facing. We work with that by giving him the first week a very intensive program where he will have mobility assistance so that he will eventually be able to go to a grocery shop alone and be able to do his own shopping. He'll also be able to interact with other blind peers and be able to learn some of the things so that life would not be so scary beyond the walls of his home. Then he enters the second week, which is a fun summer camp, where everybody, whether they are sighted or whether they are blind, can come to just enjoy a regular summer camp. There will be recreational activities such as soccer, swimming, arts and crafts, theater, dance, and everyone will, most importantly, be having fun. What's the point of this? This is so that they can enjoy interacting with others and gain confidence that they are able to do so, and also be able to apply the skills that they've learned so that they can show not only themselves but others also that they are much more independent. Finally, once they finish Camp Rafiki, this 2-week program, they will be returning home much more confident in themselves and in their future. There's a problem though. After they return home, what are they going to do? And this is where we're hoping to bring in the VITA Fellowship. The VITA Fellowship will work with these students who now have a dream, a future, and are wondering how to achieve that future. So once again, we apply this theory of change, and we show them what we can do to overcome those obstacles and challenges that face them as they continue on their journey, whether it be entering college, starting a business, or doing something else. Then we pair up these students with a mentor who has already gone on to either college, to start a business, or again, something else. And then once they've worked with this mentor and they've identified the skills that they need to learn, they will start learning these skills, again, in a safe environment where they can practice and acquire these skills and master them. Once they've mastered these skills, they will go on and transition into the next stage of life, ultimately achieving their future. Once they've achieved this future, however, we still want a little bit more. Not only do we want them to just achieve their future, we want them to become leaders and ultimately change the society that they live in. So now what are the skills that they need? Now they've gone on, now they're in the environment that they've wanted to strive for, and they look around and see that there's changes that can be made in the society that they're already in, whether that be in their work environment, whether that be in their family environment, whether that just be in the community that they live in. And so they will go through another program where we will identify ways in which we can together work to change the society and challenge that society to change in a way that would be more accommodating for everybody. And so that not only will each person have to go through and fix and obtain the fix and work through the challenges, but that this one person can change the society and make it into a better place for everyone. That way, the final transition is not only this individual, but the entire society that this individual is in. This is especially important because it is the change that comes from within and the change that can only be achieved by those that really are affected by it.
ETI is made up of a carefully crafted team that has ensured our success in the past and will continue to ensure our success for the future. You've met Sarah Minkara, our president and founder, who is personally connected to the cause. Sarah Chang worked with Sarah Minkara during her college years at Wellesley. She was her reader, and she also grew up giving aid to a blind youth. So she's personally very rooted in the cause of blind empowerment. We also have David Lim, who is our humanitarian photographer. He also assists with our financial resources. He also assists with our banking because he has accounting experience in the past. We also have Jackie Tran, who isn't present today. And she is a physician who works with people with physical disabilities. And my name is Henry Chang. Personally, I traveled to Lebanon a couple years ago just for my personal enjoyment. And I had agreed to volunteer at this camp for just about a week. I ended up staying for an entire month. As soon as I got there, I fell in love with the children, I fell in love with our president and founder, and I fell in love with the entire program. And what I witnessed, the transformations that I witnessed throughout the program were seriously life-altering for me. Ever since, I've grown to be the marketing director for our organization for ETI. I want to share with you two stories that specifically stayed with me that first summer that I was at the camp. The first blind child that I met, his name was Hadur. When I first met him, he was not interacting with the children. He was completely to himself. His head was always bowed down. Most of the times I would find him in a corner, never responding to my hugs, and he wouldn't even speak to me. By the end of our 1-month program, he was running around with the kids, huge smile on his face almost every day, and he was jumping all over me, jumping on me while I was running downstairs. It was amazing. Another kid that I met, his name is Mati. He personally confided in me and told me that he wanted to be a pharmacist when he grew up. It was an excellent dream. When asked what he was doing to achieve those dreams, though, he said that he would be going to vocational school once he graduated high school. At vocational school, he would learn skills such as basket weaving. It was really heartbreaking for me to learn that a kid who had such high hopes and a dream that any kid in America could successfully pursue could not do so, only because he did not have the right resources. Since 2009, ETI has empowered over 100 children. These children who have never had access to computers can now navigate computers. They access social media. They know how to communicate with other children through the internet, and just are very good at using computers through our program. Also, a lot of these children can now walk to stores. They can walk independently on the streets. They can walk to their friends' houses, which was unheard of before. Most importantly, though, these children left our camp being confident and instilled with this empowerment where they could successfully pursue their dreams and actively pursue their roles in their societies.
The key to a long-term successful organization is sustainability. ETI looks at sustainability in two ways. One is the operational sustainability, and one is financial sustainability. Practically speaking, in our projects in Lebanon, operational sustainability includes partnering with university and local NGOs. We partnered with AUB, LAU, the Lebanese University, St. Joseph, and Balamand to create internship programs to recruit volunteers for our camp, but also to increase civil awareness and civil engagement in young adults in Lebanon. The NGOs we worked with provided us with human resources along with the foundation to help grow our organization inside the country. Financially speaking, we look at it in two ways also. One is the general finance that we receive from awards and grants. ETI has been lucky enough to receive the Clinton Global Initiative Outstanding Commitment Award, the Davis Project for Peace, and St. Anthony Award, among various others. In terms of other finances, we look at it as a local finance to create sustainable future for our projects in the countries that they are. Past major donations in Lebanon specifically include Irshad Wal Islah, a major contributor, the Safadi Foundation, and the Hariri Foundation. We also have in-kind donations such as food and transportation, canes, and laptops that help promote growth for the youth that belong to our programs. We have future plans of self-generated finances through camp art auctions that the blind students in our program will create. This hopefully will create a sustainable future that ETI can bring towards any other place that we feel the need.
So, as you see, David was saying that our model is sustainable and our model is focusing on self-development. In Lebanon, we've been able to serve around 100 kids, but there's close to 66,000 more blind children that need our help. So we have a lot of work to do in Lebanon. We want to continue with our Camp Rafiki program, develop it even more. We also want to start developing and implementing the VIDA program and the fellowship program and the Podemos program. So ETI will have a lot of work in the long run. So in Lebanon, and also as you see, as just a reminder, there's 90% of the kids live in developing countries, and most of them are in the same situation. So hopefully, ETI will continue to exist until every single blind kid out there is an author of their future instead of society telling them what to do. Thank you.